Hello and welcome, I'm DDF Racer and today I'm going to be trying out Group 5 in RaceRoom Racing Experience. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, Group 5 is basically a specification of car that existed between 1966 and 1982. A set of regulations for designers, so to speak. Now, these regulations were relaxed quite considerably in the last 6 years of Group 5, from 1976 to 1982, to allow for special production cars. Basically a free-for-all, do whatever you want as long as the roof and the doors are spec. And this was to try and encourage as many manufacturers as possible to come forwards too. Now, what came to be were quite possibly some of the fastest, the loudest and most spectacular road cars ever to race, with ridiculous body kits and flames just shooting out all over the place. The engines were approaching 650 brake horsepower, the weights were as low as 800 kilos, and the sheer brute force of these cars is something that hasn't really been matched since, and probably never will again. Okay, so here we are at Zolder for a 20-minute race against the AI. Let's take a quick look at the starting grid, shall we? It's a Fab Car 1-2, but if we look at the next page, there's me in third position. Somehow, I managed to wrangle my Ford Zakspeed Capri, if you hadn't already guessed. Ford, yes, there we go. My Ford to third place on the grid, only a tenth and a half off the leader. However, I don't think the race is going to be quite that straightforward, unfortunately. These cars are an absolute handful to drive. But let's have a look through the grid anyway and see what Group 5 is all about. Let's see the mix of manufacturers. We've got, obviously, Ford Capris, we've got the Chevrolet Decon Monzas, BMW 320 Turbos, got some more Capris, Fab Cars, and a Nissan Skyline. An absolutely fantastic mix of cars here, each with their own individual handling characteristics, top speeds. It's basically makes for quite a mixed up race, to be honest. But yeah, that's enough talking. I think we should get in, do the race.
20 minutes.
Alrighty then, here we are on the starting grid at Zolder. 20 minutes, third place. Let's see what we can do.
Okay, Dan.
Gotta keep the revs up because this is a turbo car and I've got to keep that turbo spilled, otherwise I'll have a horrible start.
Floor it. Left side. Right.
Pretty much exactly like that.
Left side's clear. On your left.
I got absolutely mugged off the start there. Heading into turn 1. Oh, we're being forced wide. Oh, come on, mate.
On your left side. Left side's clear. It's on your left. Clear left.
This is a start worthy of Max Verstappen circa 2018. We're now down to 11th. We've lost 8 positions off the line.
On your left. Clear on the left.
As the turbo kicks in there through the fast right-hander. Even in 4th gear, the car is trying to kill me. We pick a braking point for the first chicane. Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Yellow flag, green flag, all clear.
There's a freebie. Back up to P10. Plenty of tyre smoke ahead of me as everyone's trying to jostle position through the second chicane.
Sector 2 is clear.
But yeah, this turbo is just... there's a bit of lag, to say the least. And it goes in the space of a split second from having no power to having all the power, which makes it quite oversteery. Obviously the turbo, you can see on the little gauge to the left of my steering wheel, the white needle. I'm always keeping an eye on that throughout the corner of my eye. And that is a lap here at Zolder, heading down to turn 1 again.
It is now 0.07. Right side's clear. E9.
We're locking the brakes into turn 1. And
Car on your right.
back and get into turn 2.
Still with you. Clear right. Locking your left front, going into turn 1.
Bit of panel bashing here. And missed gear shifts, there we go. It wouldn't be a DDF Racer video without a missed gear shift. Try and get some drive off the chicane. See if we can get him going into the second chicane here.
On your right. On the left, 3 wide.
Oh, no.
On the right.
Got caught out under brakes there a little bit.
You're looking your left front, braking for the second chicane.
I'm sure you can see it's a bit of a handful, this. It's taking all of my concentration to try and keep it pointed in, well, remotely kind of the right direction, I guess. So apologies for the broken commentary.
You're right front into the hairpin.
I'm using quite a lot of brain capacity just trying to keep it on the island here. Whether or not I'm successful in doing that, well, you be the judge. I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is. We're stuck in 10th as we complete the second lap of the race here.
Gap to Aoki in front is now 0.29. 10th position.
Obviously, all of these cars have got completely different characteristics.
Gap to Cunningham behind is now 1.0 seconds.
Some people getting their speed on the straights, some people getting their speed on the corners. All wildly different characteristics of cars here. All converging on roughly the same lap time. Which is one of the great things about Group 5. It's just open reign, just go for it, do what you want, design the car the way you want.
Deco is leading the race.
Some of the engine tuning available in this series is just nuts. As you can see from the bodywork, yeah. What a series. As we close up nicely onto the back of that car ahead of us, that Nissan, I believe. Got a nice target painted on the rear of that wing. That ridiculous rear wing.
On your right.
He's going very slow in the hairpin there.
On your right.
And I can't make the move work. Especially not by absolutely stuffing up the drive off the corner like that. Locking its eyes into the final chicane.
Deco 132.76.
We are losing time to the cars ahead of us. Need to get past this guy.
Okay, now come on, stay focused. Apexes and exits, apexes and exits. The gap to Aoki ahead is now 0.6. That lap time was 134.09. Good lap, that's your best in the session. 15 minutes remaining, 15 minutes to go. The gap to Cunningham behind is now 1.4.
So there's a little bit of a gap behind us there. As I'm just so nervous about that turbo. Any of the car would be planted right now, but you just got to be so conscious. I've given it too much right foot, because its car spins round and race over.
Gruber is now leading.
Get a warning from Mr. Spotter that I need to go easy on the gear shifts. I'm being a bit too rough on the transmission. Captain Obvious there, of course. But it's only a 20-minute race, so I think it should be fine.
On your left side's clear, left side's clear.
Come on, mate.
Warned about track limits. Locking your front into the hairpin.
Yeah, he's giving me the position.
Clear right.
Moved across on the braking a little bit there, to be honest with you.
133.15.
I mean, I wasn't much later on the brakes than normal, but that seemed very early from the Nissan there.
This is okay. Keep those exit speeds up. The gap to Freihoff ahead is now 3.3 seconds. P9. The gap to Aoki behind is now 0.7.
So we're now to 9th place. We're only 6 below where we started. That's not too bad. Got about 7 minutes left in this race. But going back to my previous point about this being a sprint race and the transmission being okay, these cars used to be used for endurance racing for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Seriously.
Deco is leading the race.
Can you imagine driving something like this for a 2-hour stint? Oh, you'd be exhausted. So much respect for the people who did. We're backing it into the second chicane. We haven't got any cars ahead of us now, so we can use whatever line we want. Sliding the car around there. Seriously, this is so much fun. And just listen to the engine as well, seriously. I mean, I know that RaceRoom's always got good sounds to begin with, but when you're working with source material like this, I suppose it does make your job a little bit easier. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet for this lap and let you guys enjoy. So you know the drill, headphones on, volume up, enjoy the sounds.
Relax, focus, keep it smooth. The gap to fry half in front is now 2.2. That last lap was at 1:33.02. That's your best lap in this session. The gap to Aoki behind is now 2.2 seconds.
And that is an audio lap of Zolder. And also a very sketchy first chicane. Not quite sure how I slowed it down, but definitely locked the rear brakes.
Ahead is now 1.6.
Very lucky that wasn't a bigger moment than it already was. But yeah, you can see how much of a handful this car is. Taking absolute concentration, just trying to survive. I'm sure there's many better drivers who can make this look a lot more graceful than I am.
Alright, Dan, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left. You're halfway home. Your fuel is fine.
There we go, that's a good run. That's how you do the chicane. Halfway through the race as well now. Time to make up some positions. We've been stuck in 9th for too long. Need to be up at the pointy end of the grid. And the good thing is I can see quite a few cars ahead of me as well. So it's not like there's been some massive gaps forming up at the front. Looks like everything's still relatively tightly packed together, which is reassuring. Obviously other people having as much of a hard time trying to control this beast of a car. Having as much of a hard time as I am. Can't even speak.
Matching race pace, the gap to try half ahead is now 0.7. That lap was at 1:32.03. Well done, Dan. You're looking really good. Come on, keep your focus. The gap to Aoki behind is now 4.4.
That second corner is a nightmare. I just haven't figured out a good line there yet. Seems like I'm losing a lot of time in the first sector. Oh, he's all over the place.
Right side. Right side's clear.
Gets a bit of a slide through the chicane, and that is a freebie.
Nice move, mate.
We're now to P8. And with no on-track overtake as well.
Yellow flag, sector 2.
Which is probably the best way to do it because it means I don't lose any time.
Sector 2 is clear.
Oh, this is going to get interesting. That's quite a few cars ahead of me. Looks like 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th. All within a couple of seconds.
You've used half your fuel.
We got the run down the main straight. Got a great run.
Okay, Dan, relax, focus, keep it smooth.
Alright, you are clear on the
But he's going to hold it around the outside though. I told you we have no pace in the first sector.
Car in front is Ledoux.
All of our pace in this car I think is on the brakes and through the slow speed stuff. It's definitely not in the brave parts. That's not me. Oh! That was close. Couldn't fit a cigarette paper between us. Let's be honest, in these cars everyone probably had a packet or two. That was just the days. That's another freebie up to 7th position. Just over 6 minutes left to go in the race now, guys. Oh, locking the tyres into the final chicane. If you are enjoying it so far, you know the drill.
32.49.
Don't forget to leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments,
In front is now 0.13.
and for more quality sim racing content, please subscribe.
P7.
on the left side.
Oh, we're getting banged on the outside. Try and get him through turn 2. Can't make it stick. Oh, running wide. That's not going to do me any favours. We're about 1.5 seconds behind now.
You've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Just need to focus on getting a good run through the chicane. That'll do. Barely in control.
That's 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes. Come on, let's put this hard work to good use.
I'm just...
Is now in the lead.
Whoa! So close to losing it then. Almost spun the rear round. Had to give it full opposite lock to keep it going. I was about to say that I'm just happy if I can make it to the end of the lap. Every lap. That's a win. That's a victory for me if I can survive another lap. That turbo. That turbo.
The gap to Sutherland in front is now 0.7. You've just done 134.37. Sector 1 is 1.3 off the
Woo!
pace. The gap to Ledoux behind is now 1.6 seconds.
Let's try third gear through here. The difference in power between no turbo and turbo. It's just insane. It just comes on so suddenly as well. You've really got to be conscious of that little white gauge to the left of the steering wheel. Because whenever you see that gauge rise, you know it's oversteer time. And that gauge just sat there thinking, still I rise. Bless turbo. Well, it's so sketchy on the rear. I was thinking about sending it into the hairpin there, but he's got the inside covered. It's as if the AI knew what I was going to do. Oh no, terrible. Stuffed up another gear shift. Only got 3 minutes left to go now. Although there's quite a few cars ahead of us. I could see 6th and 5th.
Left side.
Although now I've said that, they're a lot further down the road. Down to 8th.
8th place. Come on, don't let him get away. Gap to try off. Behind is now 0.14.
The guy on your left. Rear left.
Lap time times are increasing. Come on, keep your focus.
More contact!
Clear on the left.
Oh, I think the gearbox is starting to go. That's not me. I'm putting the gear in, it's just not engaging. I think Mr. Spotter was right, it's not going to make it to the end of the race. Because now I'm losing 1.5 seconds in the first sector already.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Yeah. I think I've got mechanical problems. And is it surprising the way I've been absolutely ragging this car? Oh, RaceRoom can be a cruel mistress sometimes. If you don't treat it with respect. And leave damage turned on. Oh, come on, gears. We lost 3.5 seconds on that lap. Well, it looks like I'm not the only one. There's a bit of a battle pack ahead of us here.
Car left. You are clear on the left. Car left. You are clear on the left. Car on your left. Left side.
Oh, no.
Yellow flag.
Okay, so you might be wondering, what the hell just happened? Well, long story short, I got fed up. That was probably about the 10th attempt that I had to record that video, and each one ended in spectacular failure in very much similar fashion to that. And I'd been sat in the chair for about 3 hours, very hot, very sweaty, and just needed to stop. It comes a time when you realise that when you're just not getting anywhere, to be honest with you. I just went, got a shower, got all fresh, and now I'm back. Thought I'd record a little piece of the camera just to let you guys know everything that just happened. But yeah, I've just got to admit defeat. This car's too much for me. Yeah, I don't know. Share your thoughts in the comments, guys. I mean, I had such a blast driving it. Don't get me wrong, it was so much fun. But it's just so hard to keep it on the road, and I just have to admit defeat. And let me know in the comments, should I try a different track? Should I try a different car? Maybe something with less turbo lag? Should I have a go with exactly the same combination, try again, and just see how long it takes to finish a race? But you know me, I always respond to you in the comments, so share your thoughts, say hi, and if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to press like, and if you want to see more quality sim racing content where I actually do finish a race, then press subscribe. I've been DDF Racer, thanks for watching, I'll see you all next time.